Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Indianapolis franchise here on MLB The Show 23. We are fresh off of the draft day episode, and we head into the All-Star break, where we don't have many All-Stars. Matter of fact, only one, and that is Ian Happ. Ian Happ is not only having an all-star year, he's having an MVP type of year as well. He was our only real guy to get votes this weekend, but he is a guy that I could see us building the infield around. He is definitely our best infielder as far as hitting goes, and he is a guy that I definitely see as, like I said, a piece in the future. And we signed him in free agency to a 3-year deal, and we'll get him through his prime. As you can see, he led the second base votes by a whole lot, and we did transition him in the beginning of the year from center field over to second base full time. That's kind of where I'm going to play him and kind of go from there with the rest of the positions, at least having one really solidified for the future. But as you can see, nobody else in the organization got any votes. So the first part of this episode is focusing on our all-star Ian Happ, 928 OPS as well. He hits leadoff for us, and he's hitting really, really well. Facing Zach Gallen on the mound, who gets the start for the NL, playing for the Diamondbacks in a rebuild as well on their own. Ian Happ strikes out in the first at-bat, and now he faces Julio Urias in a 1-1 game here in the third inning. He goes to opposite field with this one, and the switch hitter gets his first single of the evening. And the best all-stars here in the U.S., and Ian Happ showing what he can do versus the best of the best. So 1 for 2 day so far with men on first and second here in the bottom of the fifth inning. He hits one well to the left field line. Oh, that one is barely foul. He gets another crack at it here. Schoolball will deliver 2-2 pitch. That is an inside fastball. On the corner, he takes it, and that's a called strike 3. So 1 for 3 day. The AL actually decides to keep Ian Happ in at this point. And his final at-bat, he hits just a chopper to second base. A 1 for 4 day for our all-star. But it's kind of cool to have a guy that's not just making it just to make it. He actually got the all-star start. So that is awesome. Ian Happ, 1 for 4 day today. But I really, really love the future that he brings to this organization. We are obviously in a big rebuild here, and we need to draft well. And I want to sign all of my draft picks every single year. That is definitely a goal. And now we've kind of figured out the system a little bit. Terrell Blake is wanting a 6.6 bonus. I'm going to give him a little bit more because we have a lot of bonus allotment. He decides to sign right away. There was no issue with signing him. Bruno Reyes, who was the number 38 pick. Remember, we had pick number 35 and 38 due to the competitive balance round A pick, and we signed him right away. He's a guy that I really, really like as well. I don't know what he's going to come in looking like, but a guy that I do know is Keith Rice. He's going to come in somewhere between 71 and 76 overall, along with the same potential, and be ready to play pretty much from the get-go. He signs right away. He's very motivated. I think he knows he's an MLB caliber player. That's probably why. Zeke Barrero, also, we offer him a contract. He was picked 35, but he declined, so it wasn't a clean sweep in our first go. But I want to check in with more of our prospects. Now, as you know, Oijo Chaikan got hurt for the season. Steven Benitez was a guy that was hurt for a lot of the season. He was a guy that I was banking on maybe possibly getting a shot at the show early on. He returns from injury here in the infield. He is one of those middle infielders along with Ray Gonzalez who I want to bank on in the future. So Benitez comes back from injury, and in his first at-bat here, he grounds into a double play here for the Omaha Storm Chasers. Benitez is a power bat in the middle infield as well. He's toting about 60s power versus left and right. And I think he's a guy that can really be an impact hitter at the next level. The issue is he's got to just make solid contact. His contact ratings are much lower than his power is, but he's not a guy that's going to strike out a ton, even though you see a couple of strikeouts right here. He's not a guy that's going to strike out a ton, but I really like his upside. But he's a name to look out for in the future of this organization. I kind of wanted to highlight him because he is an important piece in the rebuild as well. So as the trade deadline looms, we are starting to get some trade offers, especially for our veterans. This one's for Raimel Tapia. I don't even have Tapia on the trade block at all, and they offer us, it's the White Sox, Jordan Lyles. Very, very interesting trade here. There's no way I'm trading Tapia right now. He's under contract for 2 more years. We gave him a 2-year extension for a reason. We're going to keep him around. He's a guy that I really, really see as a piece to get us through this rebuild, so I'm going to continue to, obviously keep him on the squad. We signed more guys here. Rafael Serna Ruiz ends up signing. He's the only one that signs next. But I'm pretty sure now that we're starting to sign all these guys, we signed 4 of our 7 draft picks. Now it looks like we are going to be in the driver's seat to sign everybody. One guy that's on the trade block is Ryan Yarbrough. I'm not sure if I will get a suitor for him. He is kind of struggling this year. He's under contract just for this season, so it's just a half a year rental. And we're sitting here at 43-55. And today, the marquee game, we will take on the Minnesota Twins. And remember, they drafted Johnny Ewing, who was the number 1 rated prospect in baseball going into the draft last season. And he is 73 overall, a potential right now. He's off to a decent start at the MLB level, 244, 313 on base percentage, and he will play right field today. He is definitely going to be their cornerstone piece of the future, and he will get to develop alongside Byron Buxton. What a good deal to sign up for here. But we'll see what happens today when we face him for the first time at the MLB level. We start this one out in the first inning. Here is Julian hitting in that second spot here for Minnesota, and he starts it out with a 1-out single. Carlos Correa at the plate hitting 308 on the year. This one's hit to the left side, and that one will get through. The Twins are in between either competing or a rebuild. They're supposed to be competing, but they have the record of a rebuild team. Byron Buxton comes to the plate. He walks. So now it's bases loaded with Jose Miranda coming to the plate. Hitting 252 on the year, second on the team in RBIs. This one's down the right field line, and this one will be called fair. All the way to the wall. A bases clearing double here for Jose Miranda. Take a look at how close this was to being foul. It looks like it may have just touched the chalk, slowing it down. It was just inside. And it's 3-0 here for the Twins on the road. That brings up Patrick Wisdom to the plate. He hits one up the middle. That one gets through. Pat Washington with a strong throw to the plate will hold the runner at third. But still runners on the corners here with Johnny Ewing at the plate. His first AB versus the Arrows in his career. He hits a chopper to third. Brandon Crawford to second. Happ onto first. It's a double play. Scooped up at first base by Tyrone Johnson, who gets his first look at the MLB this season. He is a power bat in our organization. This isn't a full-time move, but I do want to see what our guys can do versus MLB pitching. There is Johnson with the big swing right there on a low slider, bringing it to a 2-2 count. Inside fastball, maybe out of the zone, and it's popped to the right side of the infield. And his first AB this season as a rookie will be a fly out to Nick Gordon playing second base. Top 3 now, Byron Buxton at the plate again. He hits one to the left side. This one gets through the infield. Connor Wiegman, remember, got moved up last episode. He's playing shortstop. Still getting familiar at the MLB level. Here's Jose Miranda again. This one's hit well to right center. That's going to get to the gap. It will score Buxton, who has got excellent speed all the way from first. And it's 4-0 here for the Twins on the road. And the Twins are making light work of Ryan Yarbrough on the mound. This wasn't a great showing going into the trade deadline. I have to be honest. I was hoping that he would have a great outing, but it doesn't look like his value is very high. Jalen Beeks, who we acquired last episode in the trade for Williams Estadio, he comes out of the bullpen. This is the first time we're seeing him in some action this season for the Arrows. And he does get a fly ball to center field. Wow, what a great throw by Pat Washington. That's one reason why I have him out in center. Johnny Ewing back to the plate now. He hits one well to right field. That one is caught by Yasiel Puig. So Beeks comes in and he gets 2 straight outs, even though they're 2 deep fly balls. Brandon Crawford still boosting that stock at the plate. He walks there to start out the 3rd inning. Pat Washington to the plate. He hits one well to left center. This one will get down in the gap, and that should score Crawford from first. Only 25 speed, but it does. And Pat Washington with 82 speed gets all the way to 3rd with a triple. Washington is a guy that, like I said, he's going to be an outfield piece. I just don't know if he's going to be the starter in the future. He would definitely have to really show me something. Ian Happ to the plate, our hottest hitter and our only all-star this year. That one will be a line out to short. 2 outs in this inning now. Bringing up Raimel Tapia, who just was in the trade talks just a second ago, and that one will drop into left field, and it's 4-2. You got to keep chipping away. We move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ian Happ at the plate, facing Zach Plesac again. This one's hit well to right field. Driving back to the wall, and Ewing runs out of space. It's a home run. Ian Happ goes deep, and he continues to swing a hot bat. And it's within 1 run now. Ian Happ showing off the power, as it looks like Minnesota will bring in Austin Gomber after that one, as we jump ahead to the bottom of the 6th inning. Here is Paulo Reyes at the plate. Leader for Rookie of the Year, and this will help his cause. That's driven deep. A perfect stroke to right center field. It's a home run. Down 4-0. The Arrows come all the way back in this one and tie it up at 4 apiece. How about Paulo Reyes and the rookie season he is having? One of those big cornerstone pieces, I think, in our lineup. Do I think he's going to be a first baseman or even play the field? I don't think so. Brandon Crawford up to the plate now in the bottom of the 7th inning. He just continues to boost that stock. He hits one to right field all the way to the wall. And Brandon Crawford, his trade value is at an all-time high. He is hitting his career high in average and his career high in on-base percentage, and slugging his career high as well. Ian Happ back at the plate. He went deep earlier, and he just continues to hit the ball well. Another single for Happ. He drives in a run, and it's 5-4. The Arrows just keep fighting back this season. We got a lot of heart in this team. That brings up Christian Vasquez now in the top of the 8th inning with the man on 3rd, and he will single, tying up this game back at 5 now. And Minnesota had a chance in this one, came back, and now it's tied up again. And it looks like in the bottom of the 9th inning, this one's going to extra innings. So we head to extras here, and here's Archie Bradley in the pitch, trying to get us out of the top of the 10th inning. And the Arrows give up a run here to start the extra inning portion of this game. And it looks like it's going to be a double to the left center gap, and a run will come across the plate. So let's see if the Arrows can match here in the bottom of the 10th, as that brings up the next batter. Swing and miss. And we'll see what happens here with an extra base runner on 2nd. Ian Happ back to the plate now, hitting a hot 350 on the year. That one's lined to left field. I mean, can you say enough about the season that Ian Happ is having? He is a legit MVP candidate. That would be insane if he wins it, especially for a team that's probably not going to make the playoffs. His 32nd double of the season. Paulo Reyes to the plate with a chance to win it here in extras. Hit hard on the left side. That one's gloved, thrown on to first, and Reyes almost wins it, but cannot get it past the 3rd baseman. Nick Gordon to the plate now in the top of the 13th inning. That one's going to be a hit to center field. Washington fields that one. Gordon holds up at first, and it's a 7-6 ball game now. Minnesota takes the lead right back. Still no outs in this inning, but Eric Lauer into relief here. We're running out of pitchers, and he walks. So bases loaded here with Jose Miranda back at the plate, who's already got like 3 RBIs plus today. That one will be a hard ground ball to 3rd. Crawford knocks it down, but they score a run. We move on to the bottom of the 13th. Down by 2 now. Here is Tapia, a tapper in front of the plate. And that will be the end of the game. The Twins come back twice in this one. The Arrows come back as well. And we end up losing in the end. It goes 13. We run out of pitchers actually at that point. 8-6 ball game. We end up dropping 2 of 3 to the Minnesota Twins. And we head towards the trade deadline. So now we have some decisions to make. Really some pretty big ones. I don't think we have any like major cornerstone pieces that are high overalls right now. So it's just all about the development here for our young guys. I signed Brandon Crawford in the offseason to really just be a mentor, but all he's done is really just show that he has immense trade value. And I'm going to honor his request to play for a contender, and really I'm going to offer him to another contender in this episode. Connor Weigman is struggling so far, but I'm going to make him fight through the struggles. I'm not going to move him down. I'm going to have him at the major league level and see how he adjusts to kind of a poor start right now. And then Steven Benitez could get moved up, but I still do like Liover Peguero, who was, remember, the throw-in guy in the Jack Sawinski trade, and Sawinski has been a huge disappointment for us. But Peguero is actually not hitting too bad. Hitting, like I said, around 250. I want to see that a little higher, but not bad for his first time at the MLB level. And then our outfield is really, really nasty. I mean, we don't have much out here except Raimel Tapia. Pat Washington is a good rotational outfielder, but he's not the guy right now that I think he should be. So I think we need to add some insurance in the outfield, I think, here at the deadline, or bank on our draft picks to really, turn into something this year. Well, 2 teams I am considering making trades with, and like I said, I want to trade Brandon Crawford to a contender. The first is the St. Louis Cardinals, who are 29th in the league in batting average and somehow have 57 wins at this point. It's honestly incredible. And then there's the Tampa Bay Rays, who are 62-39, and they have been a trade partner of us. Remember, we traded Williams Estudillo to them. So they are definitely a trade partner that we could definitely negotiate with. They do a tremendous job of drafting and just having a great farm system. And they have a ton of starting pitchers who I am interested in. The one big pitcher I'm interested in is Babe Miller. If you remember from last year's draft, Babe Miller was the pitcher out of Penn State who I had eyes on. But I had one big issue with him. He was 23 years old, and I just didn't know about drafting a guy that was 23 in the top 10. Yes, we could develop him, but he ended up being exactly who I thought he would be, like a mid-70s overall pitcher and B potential. But I just liked the potential of drafting Orlando Quintana or Ray Gonzalez just a little bit better. Well, the Rays are asking for a lot, but I'm okay with that because Eric Lauer is a guy that they are asking for, and Lauer has been kind of disappointing this year. I did not give him a contract extension last offseason because I wanted to see what he can do in a contract year. Nelson Velasquez has also been a disappointment, and then Brandon Crawford obviously has to get thrown into this trade. So I offer that trade to the Rays. I also get back another outfielder in Cameron Misner, who we will throw in our next trade. We get an interesting offer from the Nationals. The Nationals, I think, are just looking to commit to their young outfield. Remember, they have Elijah Green. They have other guys that they're drafting. Remember, they drafted number 2 in season 1, number 3 in season 2. And I think they're just looking to just play all their young guys. And Lane Thomas is 28. I wouldn't say he's old, to be honest. But if they're offering him in a trade, I am definitely willing to take him on, especially since we just moved on from Nelson Velasquez. Lane Thomas will instantly be one of the highest overall guys on our team, and they just want Cameron Misner and Sherwin Newton, who is absolutely blocked for the Arrows. This is easy for me. I will definitely accept this trade and gladly take on Lane Thomas's contract. At age 28, I still think he has quite a bit left. So those are the two deals we make at the trade deadline. But another Cleveland Guardians trade. They decide to trade for Luis Robert from the White Sox. And the White Sox, what are they doing? Trading within the division, giving the rival really in the Guardians a great player. I'm not sure what their thinking is there. This trade deadline was nuts. Tim Anderson went to the Dodgers, Christian Walker to the Cardinals. So many guys were moving on. Obviously, Luis Robert went to the Guardians. The Guardians also acquired Willy Adames, remember, from the Brewers as well. And then we acquire Lane Thomas, who was one of the biggest players to get traded at the deadline. But I think the biggest guy, the biggest chip we got was Babe Miller. He was a guy that I was looking for in last draft, and now we finally connect with a guy that we really fell in love with. Like I said, he was probably going to be our second round pick. Like, it was no doubt in my mind, but he just didn't fall that far. He actually got drafted like number 24. So he was close to the second round, but not quite. So we get through the trade deadline into the beginning of the month of August. And next episode, we pick this series back up at our draft pick showings. And I am very, very excited. I haven't even hit A here. I didn't even peek for myself here. I wanted to reveal this next episode, but I wanted to get your guys' evaluation on those trades. I do like, trading away some of our veterans to contenders. I think that's realistic. And then picking up a very good pitching prospect in Babe Miller. And then also adding a veteran outfielder in Lane Thomas. Let me know what you guys think of those two trades. And next episode, we will take a look at Terrell Blake. Everybody's interested. How good is he going to be right away? Hit subscribe, hit that like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And next episode, we will also go over stats, over the roster. We'll go over like all the levels and everything, because I really want to evaluate and take some time to talk about all of our guys and the future plans we have after these trades. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I hope the rain don't